There's a genocide happening in Sudan right now. In fact, I'm from a place called Bilad al-Sudan. Her name means land of the black people. أنا سوداني. وتخيل نحن سودانيين ونحن دايرين سلام peace ونحن دايرين حرية freedom ونحن دايرين عدالة justice. I've got nostalgia-induced rope burn clinging onto memories of the good old days. Floor plans to a renovated land feel like a pipe dream. A bonfire of hope spewing ash and embers of disappointment leave us with more questions than answers. How did we get here? How did the world's breadbasket sow the seeds to its own famine? How did a land of warmth turn so cold so fast? How did an ancient civilization fade into an afterthought? You see, Sudan, she reminds me of immas wrapped around old heads, crisp white jalabiyas proudly paraded down dusty side streets. The adhan nectars my eardrums, calming the chaos in my mind. Sudan, she reminds me of colourful daubs, bahul, singed sandalwood releasing its essence over hot coals. She reminds me of gentle midnight breezes, tea ladies on the trees, movie-like sunsets. She reminds me of mile-long iftars, families patiently waiting to break bread with strangers, with meals cooked in homes seasoned with love. She reminds me of Aghani al-Banat, a drumbeat of joy at weddings over sweet songs sung by old lungs accompanied by younger ones. Bika. Nobody mourns alone. Men make small talk about politics to mask their heartache while women weep as a congregation. But you see, behind Sudan's beauty lies a brutal truth. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely, so the British took that maxim and loaded it in their Maxim gun, spraying shells of conquest into the chests of fearless men, thousands martyred in a single hour. A grim testament to colonial power. You see, Sudan, she gained her independence in '56, and back then her roots still mixed and her family still whole. She's been passed on from man to man with a gun pressed to her grieving head, for decades at a time to men with no shame. But you see, I often call back home. WhatsApp calls interrupted by gunfire. Blue ticks fade into a pale glare. Eventually, two ticks become one. You see, a stranger risked his life to buy my auntie a SIM card in a country where SIM cards last longer than suns, and prayers are stolen from open mouths and fed to machine guns. Sudan, she doesn't rest. Let me remind you of who she is. A beautiful woman, a strong woman, a rich woman, abundant in cotton, oil and gold, hundreds of tongues, not just Arabic. She's a patient woman, sparing the throats of greedy men she could effortlessly slit. She's a strong mother. She stirs okra with one hand and wipes tears with the other. She teaches her sons to pray and her daughters to lead. Bilad al-Sudan, land of the black people, beautiful, bruised, and unbroken. Poem. Pray for Sudan, keep your eyes on Sudan. Lots going on in Sudan, lots going on in Congo, lots going on in Palestine. It's almost too many things to miss. But Sudan is not just a humanitarian disaster. There's a lot of money being pumped into this proxy war. Do your research. I don't want to make it too political. This one's about fatherhood. I was a carer for a period of time. I've got a good relationship with my dad, but most men have complicated relationships with their dads. So this one's called Like Father, Like Son. This is the first poem that I performed at BYOB. And this is the only space I felt comfortable performing this poem, and then that led me to perform it at other places. They say like father, like son. Apparently the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but me and my dad, we grew up in different orchards, different time zones, different realities. You see, it doesn't take Isaac Newton for me to realize the gravity of his situation.
Hey.
And if life's a game of poker, then my dad beat the odds. Never complained when the chips were down. Never folded. He played the hand he had. Never asked the dealer for a new one. You see, my dad, he pushed through. And if life's a gamble, then every heartbeat is a bet against silence. How do you monitor the life left in a person's life? A straight line at 180 degrees shows a soul departed. Now palms are pressed together, ready to pray for the dearly departed. His zest for life brought him back to life, because they say survival's a genuine act of strife, because God loves a trial. Today, his heart beats, but it doesn't skip the joy. Embittered by failures that haunt a cemetery full of unrealized dreams. How do I tell a fighter to keep fighting? When the 10 count passed a long time ago, dreams out cold on a canvas of unrealized potential, different referees come in to try and count him back in. No fat lady in sight, so I know it's not over yet. And as long as God hasn't called it time, then I won't give up. You see, we're creatures of habit. And those bad habits we form patterns. And time is cyclical, so those patterns form cycles and pass down between generation without interruption until they become tradition. So I'm looking at a washing machine loaded with trauma, detergents triggering memories that can't be spun. Untreated, the pain is left hung out to dry. Stubbornly swallowing spoonfuls of struggle, he learned to call it strength. I learned to call it loneliness. But my dad took that negative energy and he channeled it in his third eye, following the third law. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Constantly doubted, but he reassured me. When teachers said I can't, he said, now repeat after me. I can, I must, I will. I felt like Ali in his prime, even when life felt like a rumble in the jungle. I never realized how empty a life could feel until I was a pallbearer at my friend's dad's funeral. I'll get back to that in a moment, because as a carer, there were times I was fathering my father. A boy became a man of the house by role-playing man of the house. One brain hemorrhage became 3, so now we're doing all the things he used to do for me. Reading aloud, tying shoelaces, tracing letters to form sentences. And so back to me feeling empty after going to my friend's dad's funeral. I realized that Father Time tapped him on the shoulder and said, son, your father's time's up. So I guess they'll never have that vulnerable conversation. There'll never be, and I love you, I miss you, I'm proud of you, I forgive you, forgive me for the times that I've hated you. Just because you have a dad doesn't mean you have a dad. How many fathers have ever felt fathered? Being a father is more than just planting a seed. Your offspring won't grow without nurture. So I want all the deadbeat dads to try. I want all the fathers in waiting to take this seriously. I want all the mentors to father young men that are lost. And so on that note, I say to my dad, your losses are my lessons. My wins are your wins. I am you, and you are me, like father, like son. Poem. I don't know if I have time for 2, but I've got one more. This one's called Brotherhood. And the last time I messed this one up, I tried to be slick. I'm seeing the sign for we've got one eye. I pulled out my phone, tried to recover it. No phone this time. I'm redeeming myself. Alright, brotherhood. We all need community, right? So this idea is keep your brothers close. Brotherhood. How do I say I love you without saying I love you? Service. No need to ask. Witnesses to exhaustion. Ashen faces fighting fires. You see, a brother is a bond to be earned. A home in human form. A witness to your becoming. A brother is a mirror to the things you've been avoiding. They say blood's thicker than water, but you're the river that kept pouring back into my empty cup. And in Arabic, we say the kha scraping the back of your throat. A harsh reminder that this word isn't to be used lightly. But brotherhood's etched in nostalgia. So I'm talking about corner shop runs, KA, Rubicon, 5p Freddos. I'm talking about £5 trims. I'm talking about PS2 multi-tap, FIFA, then Nightfire. I'm talking about the half days at Sam's. I'm talking about jumpers for goalposts, knockdown ginger, basketball in the cage before iftar, Royal rumbles on patchy grass, waiting to see which school would win the belt. And I'll be honest, I was more lover than fighter. But love will swing. Am I in a Jackie Chan fly kick the man that tried to spear you? I'm talking about the times we spent at Woolworths sampling sweets before Netflix was a thing, because brotherhood isn't a pick and mix, it's a lifetime subscription. So if I'm speaking to my brother, I remember you never called me a square for cutting people out of my circle. 15 countries deep, laughter in every time zone until your father went missing. And childhood friends that outgrew you came running back. I remember your dad. I remember him from the birthdays. Always a joke, always a lesson. And now he's a bag of bones. And now I'm a pallbearer. And now I'm lowering the man that raised you into the dirt. You see, the silence after the shovel was heavier than the soil. A brother stepped up to pray when the imam went missing. Another brother held you when you saw roses reflected in your glassy eyes. My brothers will celebrate me, G-check me, and eventually bury me. Laughter was our first line of defense. Belly laughs healed us before therapy was a thing. We learned softness in hard places, and stillness and silence. Loyalty became less about favor and more about presence, because there's never an ideal time to take that phone call. So to my brothers I say, thank you for sitting with me in silence. Thank you for lending me peace when I couldn't find one. And to my brothers I say, now life's louder. Bills, deadlines, distractions, the nights out are fewer, the talks run deeper. I'm proud of the men you've become. Fathers, leaders, healers. We've lost brothers along the way, so let's shine for them. Here's to the brothers who showed through storms. Here's to the brothers that laugh louder than loss, for we may drift, but we will never depart. Brotherhood poem. Thank you.